Welcome to Secrets Told in the Dark, a space where people can share their deepest and darkest secrets. It is often said that light and darkness cannot coexist. Therefore, we encourage you to release the darkness within, allowing the light to shine through. This space is a haven for your thoughts and feelings. I am Raphael, and my name means God's healing power. Alongside me is my wife, Sheena, whose name embodies God's graciousness.
I appreciate your reference to the significance of our names. In biblical times, names were chosen for their divine implications and connected children to their faith. This evening's narrative is shared with us by Kayla, whose name signifies crown. Doesn't her name suit her remarkably well?
Indeed, it does. To provide some context about Kayla, she is actually a close friend of ours. Sheena initially met her over 5 years ago at the first annual Heal People Help People, so lend a helping hand event. Kayla founded Heal People Hurt People 5 years ago, and the organization has since expanded to 30 states.
Kayla is truly an inspiration. I recall returning home after hearing her speech for the first time and remarking to you, Raphael, we must be more mindful of our actions and words around children, as our behavior may profoundly impact their lives.
I looked at you and said, okay, what have you been listening to now? We then listened to her story together, which resonated deeply with me, as my father was undoubtedly my role model, and I sometimes mirrored his behavior, whether it was good or bad.
This story highlights the healing and gracious nature of God. We are sincerely grateful that she is allowing us to share her story on Secrets Told in the Dark. Our heartfelt thanks go to you, Kayla. We love you.
Before we continue, please comment below with your location. We invite you to engage with our content by liking, sharing, and commenting. To stay updated on new episodes, kindly consider subscribing.
The name of this story is Mirror. Make sure to have tissues ready.
Hey, my name is Kayla and I am the founder of Heal People Help People. Before I founded the organization, I thought I didn't have anything to offer the world. I believed my contribution to the world was being under a rich man. I was nothing more than a pretty face and a nice pair of legs. I didn't know enough about God to understand how His love, grace, and forgiveness worked. Before I knew God, my mother was the person I mimicked. I would fix up my face just like I saw my mother do. I put on the sexiest clothes and finest jewels. I sprayed on the sweetest perfume, the kind that lingered after I left the room. I followed my mother's footsteps until I got to walk in her shoes. Little did I know, my mother's life was not as glamorous as it seemed. My mother was a beautiful woman. Her beauty brought men to their knees. A true goddess like Aphrodite. No dollar was spared to fulfill the desires of her heart. Her beauty was her greatest asset, and she used it to her advantage. She would say in a drunken state of mind, Kayla Pop, that was her nickname for me. Kayla Pop, a man is attracted to what he sees. Make sure you are attracted to what he can provide. She never worked a day in her life because being beautiful was a full-time job. A job that allowed her to live a luxurious lifestyle. We dwelled in affluent suburbs, had upscale cars, and my mother devoted significant financial resources to my educational development. We had the pleasure of dining at the finest restaurant and enjoying multiple vacations throughout the year. Although my mother's beauty had afforded her everything she desired, her eyes conveyed a sentiment that I could not understand at the time. Throughout the years, I saw my mother on the arm of multiple men. Despite each man differing in stature, all were the same in status. They all were rich. I wanted to be just like my mother when I grew up, beautiful and desirable by rich men. There's a saying, be careful what you wish for because you may just get it. Let me tell you ladies, I got exactly that. Instead of applying for colleges and jobs like most 18-year-olds, I was applying to be a rich man's sugar baby. I lived by my mother's words, as if it was my Bible. I copied her behavior like a ritual. For the next 2 years, I continued to live the luxurious lifestyle to which I had been accustomed since childhood. The fine dining, expensive jewelry, shopping sprees, multiple vacations, the latest cars, and high-rise apartments. I was living the good life. That life was short-lived when I shared the same look in my eyes that I once saw in my mother's eyes. This time I understood what it meant. I was living a life without substance. I lived my life depending on the money of rich men. Each man I met only valued my looks and my body. I was an accessory that enhanced his appearance. I was a night to remember when a man wanted to forget about his day. I was his late night at the office when he needed time away from his wife and children. I quickly learned that money does not make a man good. I needed time to gather my thoughts and emotions. This part of my story is still a scar I tend to cover up. I have to remind myself that it no longer represents the trauma I endured, but rather my resilience and strength. My spiritual counselor helped me shift my perspective, and I now see my scars as a testament to my ability to heal and overcome. Anyway, my mother taught me how to identify a rich man by paying attention to the kind of watch he wears, the smell of his cologne, and the kind of car he drives. However, she never taught me the characteristics of a man lacking good qualities, such as respect and integrity. I dealt with so many different men that their faces are blurry in my mind. But I will never forget Terrence. He was tall, handsome, charming, and rich. Terrence did not treat me like a midnight fling or some shiny new toy he played with and discarded when he got bored. He was attentive, romantic, and very vocal about his intentions with me. With him, I was more than a pretty face and nice legs. I was the woman he wanted to be with. He cared about getting to know me. He asked questions about my religious beliefs, childhood, relationship with my family, and my personal and professional goals. He asked questions that I had never thought to ask myself. Every guy before him expected me to shut up, listen, and look pretty. Terrence was quite different. When I spoke, he listened. When my cup was empty, he refilled it. He did not just want my body, he wanted my heart. He did not just stimulate my body, he stimulated my mind. He swept me off my feet and I never wanted to walk again. He constantly told me I was his Proverbs 31, his virtuous woman. He introduced me to something that no other man nor my mother ever had, God. He read the Bible to me and prayed for me. While I thought he was praying, Praying for me, he was praying, Preying on me. A few months into our relationship, Terrence convinced me to date him exclusively and to move in with him. He promised to support my lifestyle. He said I would lack nothing. I did not need much convincing. He far exceeded my expectations. So I happily obliged. From the time I moved in, I instantly saw a shift in Terrence's attitude towards me. The man I described before became someone different. He was dismissive, aggressive, and downright rude. The wolf took off his sheep clothing and showed me his big, sharp teeth. The first time he hit me, I watched as the blood from my face spread across his mahogany floor. They say that when you think you have reached the end of your life, memories of the past resurface. The memory that came to mind was of my mother's blood dripping into the sofa after she was hit by a man during an intense argument. When I asked her about it, she responded, "Sometimes good men do things that are not necessarily good." She claimed, "Occasionally a man must discipline those he loves." The men she was involved with must have genuinely loved her, as they would consistently buy gifts after disciplining her. Those gifts usually consist of a designer handbag, a dozen roses, and a card with the apology, "I'm sorry." My mother allowed herself to be a punching bag just for a Gucci bag. I snapped back to reality when a towel was thrown in my face. Looking down at me with a menacing look, Terrence said, "Clean up my floor and then clean up yourself." I did what I was told. I was too scared and shocked to do anything else. Later that night, Terrence explained to me that he only hit me because he loves me. Just like when God punishes children that sin, he must punish me. God gave man dominion to rule. Therefore, he was my ruler and I was his property. Then he forced himself in between my legs and did what he wanted to do with me until he fell asleep. The beatings became routine. I felt like a trapped bird wishing to escape. However, I was unable to do so, as I relied exclusively on Terrence. He took deliberate steps to ensure this. It formed part of his calculated plan to maintain control over me. I felt like God was punishing me for the sins I committed. Perhaps God would only respond to my prayers if I prayed with Terrence, as he was the one who introduced me to him. I was done with life and no longer wanted to live. I closed my eyes and asked God, "What did I do so bad that I deserve such cruelty?" God did not respond, and his silence infuriated me. If he is the creator of heaven and earth, ruler of all things, then why would he allow terrible things to happen? Why had he forsaken me? I will never forget the first time I heard God's voice. It was the last time Terrence abused me. This beating was so severe that I was convinced it was my last day on earth. He squeezed his hands around my neck, so hard that his hands were imprinted on my neck. I had bruises all over my body. I decided I would take a picture to send to my mother with the caption, "This cannot be what love is, Mom. There is not a designer handbag on earth worth this." I had to let my mother know what happened to me if I did not make it to live another day. Terrence could not get away with what he did to me. I also wanted her to know. Her advice is what ended my life. A part of me blamed her. Up until this point, my mother did not have a clue what I was going through. I suffered in silence because I grew up watching this kind of behavior and believed it to be normal. I watched it happen to her, so it was bound to happen to me. My only choice was to end my own life. As crazy as this may seem, it gave me a sense of control over my own life. Since God was not going to help me, I had decided to help myself. I would swallow a bottle of pills and drift off to forever sleep. I wanted it to end in the most painless way. I endured enough pain. I planned to do it once I knew for sure Terrence was asleep. Side note, I never understood how a person could sleep so peacefully after inflicting pain on someone else. I laughed and said, "Monsters need rest too." I creeped out of the bed, quieter than a mouse. On my way to the bathroom, I was mentally preparing myself for what I was getting ready to do. I opened the medicine cabinet and grabbed the first bottle I saw. I sat on the toilet with the open bottle in hand. I closed my eyes and talked to God for what would be the last time. I said to him, "God, I do not want to do this. but I do not have any other options. I am living in shackles, thrown in a prison cell surrounded by darkness. I know I just met you, however you've been knowing me. You know me better than I know myself. Please forgive me for what I have done and what I am getting ready to do. My life is forever in your hands. I tilted my head back and started to bring the bottle to my mouth when there was a loud knock on the door. It scared me so bad that I dropped the bottle and pills scattered everywhere. I heard Terrence get up in a rage and my heart sank into my stomach. He must have panicked when he saw I was not laying next to him because he came stomping through the house in search of me. I tried cleaning up the mess before he reached the bathroom, for I knew my plan would be ruined if he knew what I was up to. Once he found me, he told me to not utter a sound, or I will be harshly dealt with. Then we heard the knock again, this time harder before. Terrence rushed to open the door, and I heard my mother's voice. "Where's my daughter? I know what you did to her, you bastard." Then she called out to me, "Kayla Pop, where are you, baby? I am here to get you." I let out a soft cry, too scared to say anything. Then I heard the voice of God, "Get up and go to her. You are free. I have not forgotten nor forsaken you." Terrence and my mother were having a screaming match until an unfamiliar voice ordered both to hush. "Sir, we got a call to do a welfare check on Kayla. Her mother received a concerning text message from her just a few hours ago. So, we need to make sure she is okay before we leave." Before Terrence could say anything to the officer, I came running past him and into the arms of my mother. Both my mother and the officer looked horrified by what they saw. I suppose I blacked out. The next thing I remember is waking up to the sound of my mother's voice. To my surprise, she was having a conversation with God. Listen, I did not even know my mother believed in God. She asked God, "How did my child end up like me?" What was supposed to remain a thought in my head became words out my mouth. I did what I saw you do. My mother turned to me with tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry, my child. I failed. This is not the life I envisioned for you." I grabbed my mother's hand. This is not the life that God envisioned for us both. We embraced each other and cried until we could not cry anymore. Officer Graves interrupted our embrace. He came to inform us that Terrence was arrested for domestic assault and denied bail. Turns out, he was charged several times for domestic assault. However, none of the women were willing to testify against him. I reassured Officer Graves that I would not be another victim, but a survivor. I would testify against him. The trial is a story for another day. I will end on this note. God gave me a second chance at life. He not only saved me from my abuser, but he also saved me from myself. It took a few years for me to properly heal. I grew closer to God. I went to therapy and joined support groups that help domestic violence survivors. My relationship with my mother grew stronger as well, and we aided each other in our healing process. My mother's life is a testament to the transformative power of faith, and she is now blissfully married to a man who embodies the spirit of truth and life. She is living proof that it's never too late to discover your purpose, as long as you have life within you. Our trials have become a beacon of hope, a shining example of God's redemptive power. Healed People Help People was birthed from a divine vision and has blossomed into a haven of support for survivors of domestic violence across 30 states. I am a living embodiment of God's sovereignty, and my story is a testament to his unwavering faithfulness. If he can transform my mother's life and mine, he can do the same for you. Hold on to faith and never let go. As I share my story, I see reflections of myself in the eyes of those who listen, and I am reminded of the same look I once gave my mother. To them, I am a symbol of hope, a mother, sister, friend, and role model. But to myself, I am simply a vessel, a servant of God, willing to serve his people. And when I look in the mirror, I am met with a sense of pride and purpose, knowing that I am exactly where I am meant to be.
Wow, such an inspirational story, Raphael. What strikes me as particularly remarkable is Kayla's capacity to nurture her relationship with God, despite the harm inflicted upon her by the person who initially led her to God.
After hearing Kayla recount her story for the first time, I was profoundly impressed by her candor regarding her life choices. One insightful remark she made during our conversation, which unfortunately was not captured during the recording of her story, was that the enemy seeks to silence us through shame, guilt, and embarrassment, as he does not want us to share God's glory with the world. The enemy endeavors to convince us that we are hopeless and shackled by our mistakes, that God will not forgive us, and consequently, we should not forgive ourselves. Moreover, he encourages us to persist in a life of sin. However, God's love is unconditional, and his forgiveness is available to all who confess. Kayla emphasized that she confesses every time she shares her life story.
She was absolutely right. The life of Moses serves as a paradigmatic example of God's love and forgiveness. Moses committed a grave offense and spent 40 years in the wilderness. However, God summoned him out of the wilderness, instructing him to return to the scene of his transgression to liberate God's people. Similarly, Moses, Kayla, you and I have all made mistakes, yet God's love and forgiveness endure.
Amen, Sheena. We recognize God's boundless love, grace, and forgiveness, which enriches us. We are thankful to Kayla for courageously sharing her story and look forward to sharing more of her inspiring journey soon. May her story ignite hope and motivation in each of you. Remember, when you look in the mirror, make sure you know and love the person looking back at you. We pray that you may find your way out of the darkness and become a walking light. I am Raphael.
And I am Sheena. Until next time, this is Secrets Told in the Dark.